man in his 30s is amazing. We love it. Fantastic for so many different reasons. Finding a man in his 30s, impossible. Like if you're looking for a man who's like a hard worker, goes to the gym, doesn't really go out drinking too much, stays home a lot because he's just kind of like working, where are you going to find him? His house? When you do find him, so worth it.
I don't know why my team gave me this one. Yeah, the only time I leave my house is to go lift weights in the gym, to go to yoga. Sometimes I go to the grocery store. That's pretty much it. So yeah, good point.
Okay, Houston Singles, we're bringing back your favorite singles PowerPoint game night event back to Axelrad. 12 presenters will have 5 minutes to present their single friend to a room full of other eligible singles with a fun and creative PowerPoint.
After all our presentations are done, we enter into the Glitch Garden social hour where you can chat with anyone that caught your eye, play some video game, kiki haha a little bit.
We have presenter tickets for those brave souls, but also viewer tickets if you just want to watch everything unfold.
And every ticket comes with a free drink.
It's happening Saturday, May 30th from 7:30 to 10 at Axelrad.
And every last Saturday of the month.
Click the link in our bio to get your ticket.
See y'all there.
Handsome men, they don't necessarily end up with the most beautiful women, and I think it's 2 reasons. Firstly, where the normal man would have to go pursue women, handsome men get into this zone of life where women come to them, which is a very trippy kind of way of experiencing it. But women come to them, so they are used to it being that way around. So when a woman's not approaching them, they assume she's not interested. They don't realize the natural pursuit is he should be chasing or he should be initiating. Handsome men, because they don't require as much female validation because they get it so much, they look more for a woman that treats them well rather than just a woman that looks fantastic. They focus on the treatment that they receive from a woman far more than they would by the status symbol of her being super attractive, because they've already got that status symbol.
A lot of modern women continue to say that men aren't putting forth effort. Yes, I am. I'm just not giving you the effort because you on some BS.
The thing, girls love to complain that guys don't make the first move anymore, whether that's in person, whether that's on Raya, whether that's on Cuffed, whether that's in Trader Joe's, you name it. Guys aren't approaching girls like they used to, like once upon a time. Get this. Guy will have the balls to approach a girl in public, and the girls are so mean to them for no reason, just because they don't think he's cute. I'm not saying you have to give your number out to any guy that approaches you. If you're wanting men to be more comfortable approaching women in public, you have to be nicer to them. Give them the time of day. You know, like boost the morale, boost their confidence, so shoot them down and you're to him that he'll actually go approach another lady out in public. A systemic issue for men not having the confidence to approach women in public anymore. And though I get it, if I was a man, I would not want to approach a girl in public and her be to me, because man, that it sucks. I think we all need to be a little bit nicer sometimes. But yeah.
What's going on, fellas? Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Leave a comment down below. Let's get back to the video.
The only men that have an issue with a woman that wants a provider is the man that can't provide for a woman. The men that live paycheck to paycheck, low credit score, broke, and call women that want a man with a provider gold diggers are the ones that literally cannot provide. You can find a man that is living paycheck to paycheck, but when he sees you, he sees value in you, and he will literally build himself to a space where he can provide for you because that's his mentality. Just because he doesn't have it like that at the moment doesn't mean that he can't get it like that, and he will make it clear. You guys are settling for men that believe in this whole 50-50 crap. They can't do anything for you because they can barely do for themselves, and they feel like they're bringing a lot to the table, and they ask you what you're bringing to the table, which is such a broke, low vibrational conversation. Men that bring that type of conversation up are typically the ones that don't have anything to bring to the table. They're the ones that don't see your value. I have never been with a man with a provider mentality and he ever asks me that because he sees the value and he wants to provide for me.
At some point in time, keep on complaining about men not being chivalrous and men not being traditional. It's not gonna work. It's not gonna work. You need to line up or a man is not going to tolerate it.
If they break up with you, don't beg. No matter how much they paying you, say how good they miss them, don't beg. Begging is the worst thing you can do at that point in time. Right now, you think, say, oh, if you convince them, if it talk one thing, you say they could come, don't do it. Before person break up with you, they don't really reason say future no day outside. They don't really reason say their life will become better without you inside. And if you start to beg that kind of person, you go to irritate them more. The best thing you can do for you to have a chance of them even coming back is to have some self-respect. If you don't get self-respect, bro, if you don't get self-respect and you beg, all you are doing is pushing them farther away. If you beg, and paraventure they can't agree, just know that from that day on you are a slave. And you have to be a good boy or else. Listen to me. If you don't listen to me, you go still jump with that. Yeah, man, just keep.
You know something that a lot of wives don't realize? When men are younger, they try really hard to earn love. They build things, they fix things, they plan vacations. They buy gifts, they work overtime to provide. Not because they just love projects or working so much, but because they are hoping those things will make their wife look at them with love, with admiration, with desire. But over time, men start noticing something. The house project didn't make her love him more. The vacation didn't make her want him. The gifts didn't make her reach for him more. It just put her in a better mood. And eventually, a lot of men realize, I have been managing her mood, not receiving her love. And when a man starts to believe, no matter what he builds, buys, or provides, it still won't make him feel loved. That's when he slowly stops trying. Not because he stopped loving her, but because he stopped believing it would ever be enough. Sometimes the thing a man needs most is not another project to complete. It's simply a wife who reaches for him.
I think another one of the issues is that when you listen to these modern women and the things that they say, it's always that a man has to be finished while you are still a work in progress. Do you think that's fair that a man has to deal with you and your BS while he has to be the perfect specimen?
The ideas of gender roles in my head don't make sense because I look at men as having capacity for nurturing. I look at women as having capacity for leadership. And when people think of gender roles, they think of something that substantiates their identity. I think it is something that limits your identity. There's so many men who are in a vacuum of what they believe a man is, and they're not being the most of what they could be because it's such a narrow definition. There are so many women that cleave to internalized misogyny that they don't even see all of the possibilities of what they can be. And they narrow themselves this specific definition of being that brand of human. The healthy balance for us is the fluidity, is abandoning the idea like, oh, I'm the man, I'm supposed to. It just so happens I take care of all the bills in this joint because that's the way our life worked out. But there was a point in time when we thought that was going to be her. And I was okay with that because my idea of being masculine or being a man isn't tied to bread. I take pride in other things that I do, the people that I serve, the community I'm a part of, how I make people around me feel safe, all of that. To me, masculinity is, if you're going to do it right, it's more about leadership and less about dominance.
Today's episode of Men Want to Be Princesses So Badly.
No, they don't.
This is a text I got from a guy who had been on 2 dates, and honestly, the second date barely counts because it was only like an hour long.
Well, same thing.
So
whatever.
really, like, I've been on 1.5 dates with him, but this is the text I got from him when I asked to reschedule our third date. He said, hey, this isn't going to work. Between me canceling plans to make something work, only for you to reschedule last minute. I wasn't. I was rescheduling more than 24 hours in advance. To extremely poor communication skills on your end, I was on a family trip. To you being constantly late. I was only late to the first date by like 10 to 15 minutes, and I got to the second date before him.
So you went on 1.5 dates with this man and you were late to one of them? So 75% of the time you're late? I mean, fair. And then you canceled the next one. We all know if a woman said this very thing rather than the man, it would be considered completely valid. Go queen! Raise your standards. Never settle. But as soon as a man has expectations, he's the one in the wrong. I think you're just embarrassed that you got it rejected, so you're trying to make him look like the bad guy when he really didn't do anything wrong. If he wants a woman that's punctual and will have really good communication, that's valid. He's not asking for much when you think about it. Men having expectations doesn't mean he wants to be treated like a princess either.
Men have started going their own direction and quit fixing the mistakes and the foolishness. And some of the stuff is not even a mistake. It's just you doing whatever you want to do and expecting a man to save you. And when I, as a man, have stopped doing that, my life has gotten a lot better.
Do women really like bad guys? Man, I think about it sometimes and I'm like, my life would be so much easier if I just liked nice guys, right? If I liked guys who were honest, guys who were kind, generous, thoughtful man who's gonna bring me flowers or something. I don't know. You know, I liked guys who just went out of their way and thought about me. The bare minimum. If I just liked guys who gave me the bare minimum, that would be fucking awesome. But I am a little bit more below than that. right? I like liars. I do. I'm going to admit it. I like men who are going to treat me like shit. I do. I like men who are going to go out of their way to make me jealous. And then they come back and I'm like, babe, why'd you do that? I like to feel something because I'm a pretty happy person, pretty peaceful person on my own. So when I have a guy come in and up my life and make me feel something, I'm like, I love this. I love this. This is and great. You know what I mean? Do you know what I mean? Okay, I didn't ask for this life. I didn't choose this life. This life chose me. Okay, I didn't ask my dad to leave. He just did.
These modern women think that a man is supposed to want what she wants. I say the plan, I announce it, you're supposed to want it too, right? If your vision is different from mine, then you must not really even like me. You gotta be exactly like me.
Use this mindset shift the next time you get that fear of rejection inside your body. Understand, bro, it happens. It is going to happen. It happens to everybody. It happens to men on the highest level. It happens to men on the highest level. Celebrities, athletes, happens to all those guys. Remember, it's 2 P's of rejection. It comes down to preference. Just because somebody likes Coke doesn't mean Pepsi is a bad brand. Vice versa. My uncle told me, you gotta find your tribe. Your tribe is just women that are attracted to you, women that like you. And of course, that changes as you improve yourself, as you get better physically, spiritually, emotionally, financially. That only gets better. Now, that second P is preparation. Somebody could prefer you. You could be someone's type. But are they prepared to be with you? Are they prepared to follow your program? Are they prepared to do right by you? Do they have the capacity to be with you, bro? The person can prefer you all day. But if they don't have the capacity to love you, to shower you with the things that you want and deserve, and give you the same reciprocation that you give them, that's not a loss. Use this mindset shift the next time you feel that rejection in your body.
What'd you say about what I asked you?
I said it's my day off.
Yeah?
Golf, TJ Maxx, go to the mall, get coffee, go look at this, go look at that.
And I don't see anything wrong with any of those things. It's fun.
Nothing about that is fun.
But you love me. You love me.
Yeah, that man spends all week at a job doing things for somebody else that he doesn't want to do. And then on weekends, he gets to also do things for somebody else that he doesn't want to do. I mean, I get his point. He's saying it's not very fun because it isn't. But one thing about these men that are good men in a relationship with you, he wants to make you happy. So he's going to end up doing the things with you. But these men also, they really deserve a partner that also considers what they want to do. So they're not trying to make this man spend all day doing only the things that they want to do. And you know in that relationship what your man wants to do, what he enjoys doing, what he finds relaxing. I think it's so important to be able to reciprocate that sort of time and initiate it. Like ask him, hey, why don't you go do this? You know, like we're not doing anything. Maybe we can run some errands in the morning that I need to run and you can come with me. But in the afternoon, how about, you go fishing or you play your game or whatever it is that your man enjoys, because that's when he will feel like he can actually take that up without feeling like he's making you unhappy by doing that. If you can do that, that man is going to be a happy man in that relationship.
You're listening to these lists and what modern women say they want, but really give them 4 or 5 years. And they'll be tired. I'm tired of having to carry this load. I'm tired of having to do this all myself. It's been 5 years. It's been 2 years. And I'm already tired, boss. Exactly.
The biggest reason that women make you anxious is because of this one thing. But first we gotta ask ourselves, what is anxiety? You see, what most guys don't understand is anxiety is a literal fear of the future. And so when you see a woman and you want to go talk to her, but that approach anxiety prevents you and keeps you in your place and makes you not want to do it, it's because you're picturing the future of going over there and talking to her, and it's not a good image. When you envision that approach, you think of it as a negative thing. You think you're going to go over there and mess it all up. And so what most men will do is they'll try to say to themselves, what should I say when I go over to her? What are the things that need to come out of my mouth so I could be prepared? And so they try to come up with a specific script, but guess what? You can't predict a conversation. You can't predict how it's going to go. And so those scripted lines that you have in your head, it doesn't work when you get in conversation because it's all scripted, it's all robotic, and you lose the main component of conversation, which is natural flow. So the first step of getting over this is you gotta be in your present state of mind. You can't be worried about the future and you can't be worried about the past. When you eliminate those two things, you become in your present state and you're able to observe things that'll help you in your conversation. So once you learn to be in that present state, now you could improve your skills with conversation, flirtation, and escalation.
These modern women, you probably heard it before, Captain Save-A-Hoe. That's what they're looking for, unfortunately. Now, they probably won't refer to themselves as that, or they might. Whatever it is, it doesn't matter. They want you to come save them. And a man does not have the responsibility to do that.
Women's value get lower the more children that they have.
They're gonna say I'm pandering, but I don't care. I don't care. Accountability has to go both ways. We can't sit here and criticize single mothers while ignoring the men who create single motherhood. That's my whole problem with this conversation about women's value decreasing when they have more kids. Let's hold ourselves to the same standard that we hold these women to. I don't hear us holding men with multiple baby mothers to this standard. So let's be real, please. That's all I'm asking for. And I'm not saying that if a woman has multiple kids by multiple fathers, that you have to be with her. Absolutely not. That's not what I'm saying. As a man, you have every right to assess whether that situation aligns with your peace and your purpose. But assess the situation. Don't attack her existence, especially if you have children too. Because either we're all accountable or none of us are. And I'm not gonna lie, I hold us black men to a higher standard. And the reason why is because we're the leaders in our communities. We're the ones impregnating these women. The moment you demand accountability from her without demanding it from yourself, you stop being a leader and start becoming the very problem you're trying to call out.
Y'all have been begging me to talk about this topic, and today is your lucky day. Let's call out some homophobic shit, shall we?
I am treading dangerous waters by saying this, but I think that a lot of you women's obsession with trying to find the smallest thing to call a man over is because y'all have a indirect kink for men.
I agree with this point on so many levels, I don't even know where to start. Let's start off with the ones that are attracted to the bad boy, YN, gangster, scammer, whatever. Those men are typically men that were raised by their mamas. So they have all of this feminine energy. Any man that is willing to shoot somebody over stepping on their J's, that's a feminine man. That is a man who is letting himself be led by his emotions in the same way that women do. So a lot of the girls are attracted to that. On the other end of that, I think they're attracted to the men secretly because a lot of these men in Hollywood are men. And these are the men that they love, idolize. I remember being a child and seeing the girls fan out over Trey Songz. And I was like, that's a man. And they were like, no, he's not, no, he's not. Yes, he is. August Alsina. I'll even say Chris Brown, and I don't care. Who want to fight me in the comments? These are men that y'all are lusting after. They've always been men. If the Diddy documentary told you nothing, these are men. Y'all like men. So although it's really trendy right now to be calling all these men sassy and gay and all that stuff, really, y'all like that. Y'all have always liked that. And I secretly think you also like women, but we don't even have to go there.
I think the thing that gets a lot of men is that women actually, a lot of these modern women actually expect them to continue taking the gamble when they continue to lose. You know what I mean? I continue to get nothing back. It'd be one thing if I was hitting on something. Oh man, I hit on something. Why not try it again? But I've never hit on anything. Why would I continue to take that gamble?
Men will do literally anything to avoid asking a question. You'd be like, I'm getting surgery tomorrow. And they'd be like, oh, cool. I had surgery once. Okay. What was your surgery? And then they'll tell you, and then they'll never ask you a question in your life.
Oh boy. So what men don't know about women is that we don't make them the center of everything. They're already the center of everything. And literally, I came up with a new way to talk about it. And I had this realization on the plane this morning. Oh my gosh. So I've asked men where different feelings are in their bodies. And some are the same, and some are just different for a different man, where he feels different things. And And they're in different places. You know, dread might be in one place. Shame's pretty consistent for people right here. I've asked men, where do you feel happy? And they couldn't answer because they paid no attention to themselves being happy. Pay attention to women being happy, right? But this is what I found out. It's here. Happy shows up here. It shows up here. Big happy goes down the arms and high five, smack on the butt, spike the ball. That's a big happy, right? This is also where you experience power. Happy and power go together. Can you see it? One thing men don't know about women is that the power terrifies us. Especially if we don't feel connected to you. Because we're afraid to use it against us. If we feel connected to you, then we're happy you're happy. If we don't, it's scary. And this is why women attack men when they're happy.
You know what? You know, we talk about men opting out, not getting married, that sort of thing. Because there's like legitimate legal risks to it. You got people out there, men out there, that subscribe to the belief that, hey, I'll be with it. I think I was listening to, what's his name on whatever podcast that was kind of saying the same thing. And can't remember his name, his last name, Justin, tall guy, white guy, I think might be from Louisiana. So I don't even know if he's really white. He might be black, just light skin. I'm just joking. But am I? He grew up around black people, so maybe. Anyway, he subscribes to that belief. I'm not saying don't get married. I'm just saying there's a lot of guys out there that look at the math on that. And they're doing the math and they're trying to figure out, okay, so where do I benefit? What's in it for me? Will you get a companion? Do I really? Do I get a friend, or do I have more responsibility? Do I have another bill? Do I have more stress?
Girl, listen, stop believing that men leave because they stopped loving you. Most of the time, they leave because you started hurting them. That's a huge difference. Men don't just wake up and walk away. They emotionally withdraw first. They detach first. They grieve the relationship while they're still in it. By the time they leave, sweetheart, they've already left.
I think the quickest way to lose your fear for rejection is rejecting somebody. And I'm sure you're about to say, but bro, easy for you to say. Listen, anybody that is genuinely focused on their life. I'm not talking about you're trying to level up so girls can sleep with you because you're superficial and you're immature. I'm talking about you wake up, you look at yourself in the mirror like, yo, okay, it's my body, it's my life. No one's gonna save me. I'm gonna do this because I wanna prove to myself that I can do it. So if you're locked in every single aspect of your life, spiritually, physically, mentally, emotionally, financially, you're gonna reject people because naturally you're gonna stop caring about what people think about you. So when you stop caring, there's just something about that people pick up on, and it makes you more attractive. But if all you care about is what people think about you and you do things out of superficial intentions, all of the hard work you do is basically at the hands of other people. So like, of course, you're gonna be afraid of rejection. But once you start to reject people, once you know what it is that you want for yourself and you have standards, because you have standards for your life, not everybody's gonna like you. You're not gonna like everybody, and that's perfectly fine. People have preferences. People have types. There's many, many, many human beings that will like you and many that won't. So learn to focus on your life out of genuine intentions, and I promise you, you will stop caring. You will stop caring, and you will get attention, and you'll have to reject some people, and then you'll understand. This is just life.
Men don't yearn the songs no more. Tyrese said, you know I'm willing to do anything just to keep you in my, I messed around and gave up everything.
Most chairs?
They don't do that no more.
At a desk isn't.
What the? Man, bring back the yearning.
You focus.
Bring back the yearning.
Every person that you meet in Christ is not your spouse.
I want to talk about this today because a lot of the times when you are a person who is visible online and you are actively professing your faith, the enemy will try to send multiple distractions in the format of a man or the format of a woman. And I want to talk about this because all of us in Christ have the capacity to be a counterfeit. Just because you see someone who you think is desirable in the light of desire for you doesn't mean that that person is your spouse. The word of God says that you're to test the spirits. So everything that you see in this world, you are to take it up in prayer with God, and I highly encourage fasting as well. Seeing someone online doesn't, or even in real life, doesn't automatically mean that this person is an option for you. The word of God says that we are not to be yoked with unbelievers. So yes, there needs to be an equal of the yoke when it comes to your belief system. But it also says, how can two come together unless they agree? Two people coming together means there's two lifestyles, there's two ideologies, two belief systems, two ways of eating, two different ways of living. There's two different families that's coming together. That means that everything needs to mesh. Just because you see someone who walks in Christ and loves the Lord, it does not mean that that is your spouse. Yes, you can see somebody and you both might be followers of Christ, but they might be someone who has a very holistic lifestyle while you believe in Western medicine. Or they might be someone who wants to live on a farm and you want a penthouse in downtown Atlanta. Lifestyles have to align, values have to align, and everyone that follows Christ is not going to be a suitable option for you. And that's okay.
Because the key is with women who kind of monkey branch from one man to the other is they pick men that they don't truly admire to begin with. They pick men that just adore them, but they don't particularly admire. When they're in that position, they automatically feel like they can do better. The moment you are with a man that just totally adores you and you don't truly admire him, you think this must not be the best deal. Because if it was, I would be admiring you more. So they're constantly on the lookout for a man that they truly admire. And until they find that, they'll keep their eyes open. But if they find a man that they truly admire and they're truly attracted to, those two things, admiration and attraction, she's loyal to a fault.
A lot of girls like to shame incels for being single, but what a lot of these girls don't know is that a lot of men are single because they're aware of who and what women really are. These are the men who spot red flags like snipers. One lie, one inconsistency, one attempt at manipulation, and they are gone. No hesitation. Because the truth is that you can't gaslight a man who understands how women really operate. He knows when something feels off because he trusts his experience and his instincts, not her excuses. He doesn't fall for the trauma dump queens. He doesn't fall for the pick-me sob stories. And he doesn't fall for the my ex was crazy fairy tales. He sees the pattern and he sees the damage. Then he dips like a chicken McNugget in barbecue sauce. And make no mistake, gentlemen, women can't stand these men because they can't be easily controlled. No buttons to push, no insecurities to poke, no weaknesses to exploit. Manipulation only works on the blind, guys. But the man who understands women isn't blind. He's observant. He catches the tone. He catches the switch. He catches the silence. But most importantly, he catches the micro disrespect that she thought slipped through. This kind of man is single because he refuses to settle for chaos wrapped in a pretty package. If peace costs him a woman, he will choose peace every single time. Modern women want men who are dumb, desperate, and distracted. But these kinds of men are none of these. He is calm, he is focused, and he is impossible to fool. Women like to say they love emotionally intelligent men until they realize he's not going to tolerate them. Then all of a sudden he's toxic, controlling, and insecure. The truth is that he's none of those. He's just tired of entertaining dysfunction. So women need to realize that some men are single because they're selective, because they have standards, because they're not simps. He's not lonely, he's filtering. And the day he chooses a woman, she will be the rare one who actually earned it.
In 2026, I am no longer part of the independent woman crew. I am no longer part of the crew that says, I don't need a man. I am off of the crew of I can do it by myself. I'm done. Get me off of those committees because, baby, I need a man. I need my husband. I don't know what I was thinking and who brainwashed me. Because if I'm being honest, all of those things were a facade to protect myself from getting my feelings hurt or my heart broken. But in 2026, I'm ready. I'm gonna try this thing out. For real this time.
I've heard a lot of black women who said that they are tired of being the independent black women, the strong, independent black women, that they want a man to come in their life and swoop them off their feet and just, do everything for them. You don't even think that you believe in the traditional values, but you actually lean into it. You actually enjoy it. Who doesn't enjoy being catered to in one way or another? And honestly, as a Christian, I believe that women are not just supposed to submit to men, but that's supposed to be a service to each other.
Exactly.
So however I can serve you and however you can serve me, and therefore we have a healthy and balanced relationship between our femininity and masculinity.
When I say have high standards in your relationship, that is what I'm talking about. I'm talking about expect a certain amount of effort from people. I'm talking about expect a certain level of integrity from people. Expect to be treated with a certain level of respect. I'm not talking Birkins and APs and Rolls Royces and being gifted excessive amounts of gifts. I'm not talking about that when I'm talking high standards. Yes, some people have those standards for themselves. But when I'm talking about have high standards, it goes beyond material, because someone can give you all the material things you want in the world and still treat you with disrespect. Someone can gift you with the most expensive, most luxurious gifts, and they're not there for you. You can't count on them. They're not reliable. They don't apply effort to the relationship. Like, having high standards goes beyond the superficial.
Never text a woman who ignores you. Let me share this from a man's perspective. If she's not reaching out to you, that is your answer. You don't need to double text. You don't need to check in. You don't need to remind her you exist. A woman who values you does not forget you. A woman who's interested does not go silent. A woman who cares finds a way. She doesn't make you guess. So ask yourself this: why am I even reaching out? To prove your worth? To beg for attention? To convince her you matter? Bro, that's not your job. There are women out there who will be excited to hear from you, who will respond fast, who will match your effort, who will give you peace, not anxiety. Here's the cheat code to how women operate. A woman who values you makes it obvious. A woman who doesn't makes you confused. If her silence stresses you out, that's your sign. Move like a man who knows his value. Walk away. Upgrade your life. Let her see what she lost without saying a single word, because a man's attention is earned, not handed out. Your time is a gift. Stop giving it where it's unappreciated.
If that man didn't ask you to be his girlfriend, you are very much single. Do not be out here holding it down for a man who hasn't put a title on it. Just because you're laying down with him, just because you've met a few family members, just because you're out here playing house with a man, doesn't mean you're in a relationship with him. The same men that don't put a title on it are the same men that get out in the streets and do you the worst way. And then when you find out about it, they say, "You're not my girlfriend." What? Like, there is no title on this. So stop being loyal to men that are, for one, not your husband, let alone even your boyfriend. Okay? You got your up. You're holding it down for a man. I mean, I don't know what else to say. You're holding it down for a man. You're holding it down for a man. A man that's not your man. A man that's not your man. Okay, we know that sounds crazy because it is crazy. It is. So stop doing that. Knock it off. Set yourself free. You are single.
I really like you. I like you too. We should be together. See, I would, but I'm pretty emotionally unavailable. That's okay. I'm still hung up on my ex. Oh, okay, great. Then why don't we do all the things that couples do without actually calling ourselves a couple? That sounds awesome. That's definitely going to get messy later on when one of us develops stronger feelings for the other, which will definitely end things between us and only add more bricks to the walls we build inside ourselves. Yeah, but what are we going to do about it, right? Well, we could take some time alone and work on ourselves, and then once we're healed, we form a meaningful connection with somebody who actually cares about us. Yeah, we could. But I think what we have going on is just toxic enough for both of us to mistake it as love. You know what? You're right. I can't wait to spend the next 6 months of my life running in circles, confusing my friends, my family, and myself. Yeah, me too. So you want to hang out later? Oh, you mean go on a date? We don't call it that. We don't call it that. No, I wish we did, though. I really wish we did.
Girls are always like, "Oh my God, you don't ever shoot your shot with guys?" And I'm like, "No, I do. I do.
I'll view his story. If it's in public, I look at him 3 times. And if I know him personally, I'll say you smell nice.
Please do more than that. Men are begging you. Even they won't catch it, but even if a man gets a slight inkling that you might like him a little bit, maybe, he still won't approach because too many people have yelled at the top of their lungs, "Don't approach me. Don't approach women in public." And men have heard loud and clear, and so that's why they avoid it. You may be the sweetest woman out there, but these guys still won't approach. A man does not ever want to make you feel uncomfortable. So please, make it more obvious. Even if you want to be all feminine and whatever, I get it, some ladies want that. Just write your phone number on a piece of paper and just walk up, smile, and say hi, and just hand him the paper. Worst case scenario, if he's not interested, he'll throw it away or something. You don't have to say a word if you don't want to.
Yeah, I get to watch him with his new wife and his new life just flourish without me. He's doing so well. You know, he's doing great in his business. He's doing great in school. He's just amazing. He's a great guy. And I get to watch that from the back room. And it's hard. Sometimes it stings. Sometimes it still stings. But, you know, I'm happy for him. And, you know, I love him as my family. And I want nothing but the best for him. So now I relocated to a different state, me and my daughter, and 2 years ago. And I just started over. I'm dating. And it's different. It's difficult. You know, I got married. It's trash. It's trash. Okay, it's trash. I said it's difficult. It's really trash. Yeah. It's definitely trash. The streets. it's trash. They say the dating pool has pee in it. I say it's straight sewage. It's not even a pool. It's sewage. Seriously. Oh my God. I hate it for everybody that has to be out here dating. I don't recommend it. 0 stars. Not even a half.
What are your thoughts? Comment below.
You were never meant to beg a man for love and commitment. When are we going to be official? When is he going to commit to me? Let me remind you of something real quick. For centuries, it was men showing up, begging for the opportunity to court and then marry you. It wasn't him test driving you for 5 years like you're a used car while he decides and he wonders if he's ready to step up. It wasn't him ordering Ubers at 11:30 p.m. on a Thursday night to have you come over like you're a FedEx package. It was not him saying, let's just see where it goes. Let's see where it goes so he can bang you and 3 other women without stepping up and making a commitment. It was him showing up ready and intentional to court and marry you. You're not built to wait years on end and cry over a guy while he decides about you. You're built to be a queen and for a man to show up and be intentional about you. History says so. History says you're the prize. History says men chase you, and history says men prove themselves. So how about you step in line with your history and you treat yourself like the queen you're built to be?
What's wrong with guys these days? I can never find a good man.
Maybe it's you.
Me? What's that supposed to mean?
I mean, since we friends, you know, I can be honest with you. Sometimes you can be a little mean. And your conflict resolution, terrible. Every time a problem happens, you're running. And your emotional level of maturity is probably the lowest I ever seen. Like every time you get mad at a dude, you block him. And then after blocking him, you expect him to chase you.
Okay, well, there's nothing wrong with a little chase, all right? I mean, look at me. What you expect?
I mean, you look good, but you still need to learn how to handle conflict. You know, you're supposed to talk through things, process them, you know? And your choice in men, the most terrible I ever seen. Like, I never seen you date a good man. Every dude you dated was a player. Cheating on you every time, but then you be like, oh my God, I think I can change him. No, you can't. You can't change him. You gonna keep cheating, keep cheating, keep cheating.
Okay, I get it. Maybe I got some things I gotta work on, all right? Is that it?
Oh no, I mean, if you want some more truth, I can tell you. You're cooking, terrible. But you don't even season your food enough, and it's just always a little bland, and that's not gonna keep nobody happy. And your attitude, look at you. Your arms crossed right now. Don't uncross them, cross them back. That's how you eat. You got an attitude problem.
I always appreciate when men come along and prove my point.
This video is the one in which I was talking about how women need to keep ourselves safe from men, and this is one of those ways. Women are always trying to anticipate what men might do that will make them unsafe. And one of the big things that men do frequently is anytime a woman is talking about her feelings, talking about her personal experience, there's always a man to say, "What about me?" I've only been with one man who would initiate talking about his own feelings. Every other man I've been with, the only time he wanted to talk about his feelings is when I was talking about mine. The only time his feelings were brought up is when my feelings were hurting his somehow. As in the case with my ex-husband, when I told him that what we had just done felt like, and he said, "Well, how do you think that makes me feel for you to say that?" I even apologized to the but he would tell you that I didn't care about his feelings, because this is what you guys do. You come into a woman's space where a woman is talking about herself and you make it about you. Now, I said it in the comments and I'll remind you again. You also have social media. You also can record a video and tell us what you think. You tell us all about your feelings. Share your experiences with the world on your page, on my page. You will listen.
Despite what's portrayed in mainstream media and Hollywood, men and women are not the same. And no, a woman can't do anything a man can do, but a man also can't do everything a woman can do. That was done by design. God created men and women in order to complement one another, not to compete against each other. Both man and woman were created in the image of God, but it is only together that they encapsulate the fullness of his nature, his strength and his gentleness, his authority and his nurturing spirit. Even our biology points to this divine design. Men are generally built with larger lungs and hearts and greater muscle mass, giving them the capacity to protect, provide, and lead. They reflect the protective and steadfastness side of the Lord. Now, women, though physically weaker, were given the unique ability to carry life, to nurture, and to bring warmth and compassion. This reflects the gentle and life-giving side of God's character. As scripture says, woman came from man, but it is man who was birthed from woman. This reveals once again the reality that both man and woman need each other. So instead of trying to keep up with the guys as a woman, or instead of men shrinking back to appear less intimidating in today's ecumenical culture, we must learn how to embrace how God has uniquely created us both. Because when men truly walk in their masculinity and women in their femininity, the full image of God is clearly displayed here on earth.
Your husband will literally have to guide you through of both of your parents. So choose that man wisely. Like, yeah, muscles are cool, but can he sit with you in a hospital waiting room for 6 hours without making it about his fantasy football team? Okay, you're out here picking based on who you think looks hot in a backwards hat. Okay, these are outrageous times. How did we get to this point? Meanwhile, the real test is, can you trust them to talk to your dad's doctor when you're feeling too overwhelmed to do it yourself? And to ask the right questions, remember what was said, understand it, and then help you through it. Okay, it's not just about good morning texts and matching Halloween costumes. It's, hey, I called the funeral home so you didn't have to do it. Okay, that's trustworthy. That's a quality to look for. But nobody's perfect. Everyone will slip up and disappoint you sometimes. But start being serious. Okay, start figuring out what really matters in life. Be picky, real picky, but about the right things. Not about how he dresses or how nice his forearms are. Because one day, I promise you, life is gonna body slam you with grief. And the guy who only brings vibes is gonna fold like a lawn chair. Okay, if you find the man who can hold you up when you're going through it, hold on to that for dear life. Because love isn't built on butterflies and your little checklists. It's built on the guy who brings snacks, tissues, and doesn't flinch when the hard stuff shows up.
There is no right time to approach a woman. If she thinks you're ugly or she doesn't find you attractive, any time is going to be the wrong time. I want you to remember that. When men contemplate whether they should approach a woman or not, they psych themselves out with little things that are really trivial, like, oh, maybe I should do it at this time or this time. Yeah, there's obvious times where it wouldn't be the best time, like nighttime at a gas station, or somewhere where it's super crowded and overstimulating, or when she's like super locked in at the gym with headphones on, face buried in the phone. But ultimately, no matter what, no matter how inconvenient it might be, if she likes you, it's always going to be the perfect time for you to approach. You won't know if it's a good time until you try that. Now, I'm not saying to do so, but there are similarities. And just like how I tell people not to stress about the first date, because if she is truly interested in you and attracted to you, then the first date, wherever it is, it's trivial. You can take her to a car wash and to McDonald's after, if you so choose. It's not a good date idea, but if she really likes you, she really wants to talk to you, it doesn't matter where you take her. She wants to get to know you. Something I hear often is, oh, I won't do it right now. She looks busy right now. I wouldn't want to bother her. You're only bothersome because she doesn't want you. Think about that. A lot of these issues that men have within the dating realm always comes back down to inherent skill issues or just basic attraction. Now, not everything boils down to such a superficial perspective like that, but in most cases, it does. Go in the Discord, one-on-one coaching in the bio. You guys have a great day, night, whenever you see this.
I would say women more so feel like a doormat. That's the word I would use.
Yeah, that's a good word.
We feel like if we put in effort, we're just going to be walked all over.
Exactly.
They're just going to take advantage of us.
Because you want it to be reciprocated, and I think you have that fear of it not being reciprocated.
Exactly.
And then now at that point, you feel like you're being taken advantage of.
Yeah, and I think that's the reason why a lot of women don't put in effort in that. And also, I think a lot of women can have this like princess syndrome where they think that the men are just supposed to do all of the courting and effort, which, like, don't get me wrong, we love to be courted by men, but don't get it twisted, ladies, y'all gotta put in effort too.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, you know, we live in 2024. Everybody wants to talk about chivalry, right? They want to go back to the times where men courted women and stuff like that. I'm sorry, that's not the world we live in today.
No,
you know,
right.
and
although that would be great.
Yeah, I mean,
don't get me wrong. We still I still want, you know, the men to do stuff like the man things. Like, we still live our relationship very traditionally, but we live in a modern day world.
Mm-hmm. We live in a modern day world, right? So when women are sitting here telling me, I want to go back into the times where men court women, the thing I asked them, are you being a wife? Because those women that were courted back in the day, they wanted to be wives.
They were submitting to their man.
They were submitting to their man. They respected.
Living in their feminine energy.
They were living in their feminine energy. They respected their men.
Yeah.
So of course that man's going to court her.
Right.
But now we live in a world today where we have this whole notion of like, I don't need no man. Like yeah. You know, and it's sad. Because it's completely against the biblical perspective. It's completely against God's word. And that's not how God created husband and wife. That's not how God created man and women to coincide and be.
And what modern women have to understand is, because they push out this narrative that men are hiding, that men are not around, men never come to singles events, that men are in different dating spaces. Modern women are so oblivious to the movements of a man that a man could actually come to a dating event. He actually go to the dating event, but you won't notice him because you're looking for the dude that's 6'5". You won't notice him because you're looking for the dude that is wearing an Armani suit or something like that. You're looking for the person that looks how you want them to look, that presents themselves how you think that they should present themselves, when they might present a slightly different way. They might talk a different way. They might approach a different way. And we're not talking about people who walk up to you and approach you looking like a slouch and a slob. We're just talking about, say for instance, a dude wears a red suit. Well, I'm looking for, my husband's going to be a guy in a black suit. God's going to send me a man in a black suit, black loafers. I've already prayed for it. Why did you pray for something so shallow like that? Why? When the dude in the red suit is exactly who you're looking for. Oh, he sounds like he's from New York. So, looking for a guy from Connecticut. Does it matter? Have you talked to him to see how he treats you? Yeah, you know, I actually did. He seems like a nice guy. He's got this down. He's really educated. I really like that about him. Seems like he's connected well to his family and his friends. Well-adjusted man. He's got a good job, great hobbies. Well, if he has all of that stuff, then why don't you just date him? What kind of job does he have? Oh, it's a boring job. I really don't like that. Does he make a stable income? Yeah, but I don't think that's going to be exciting for my life. Huh? They really disqualify men because of these things. Minute things. And I'm exaggerating, but there's minute things that modern women, basically say, well, you're a really good man actually, but you're not you're not my husband. And then they go and start making up stupid sayings talking about, well, don't let your boyfriend or something like that, or don't let a good man keep you from finding your husband. What does that even mean? Can you just go ahead and do what you're supposed? Just say that you're not ready. Just say that you don't have the emotional intelligence capacity to handle a man like that.